have too many records. What's one more, two more, or 300 more? I could get addicted to buying collections, and I hopefully won't, but I just bought a collection that I had to make a video about because what I found in there was pretty crazy, especially for the price point. I'm here with Molly. We're going to actually go through the highlights of the collection in this video. I'm not going to go through every single record because that would take a very long time because, like I said, it was about 300 pieces, give or take. The price I got them for was extremely reasonable. It was roughly $1 a piece, give or take. I'm going to tell you the story of how I got it, and then we're going to go through some of the more unique, rare, or interesting records in the collection. So stick around, and let's go through it. If you haven't already, it'd be awesome if you'd like this video, hit the red subscribe button, and turn your bell notifications on so you don't miss out on any weekly videos I put out. So a long time ago, back when I first got into records, back in 2013, a gentleman named Kevin and I went to the same forum online. And on that forum, he kind of helped me get into vinyl. He helped me adjust from the LP60 to my first Pioneer turntable, helped me once over FaceTime actually troubleshoot a technical issue. He's been an awesome resource for a while, but after that, we kind of lost touch for a few years. Eventually, he found his way back to the TMR Facebook group, and he joined it, and he's been an awesome person in the group ever since. He recently made a post, though, saying that he was getting out of vinyl, so I guess he's out of the game. He's more into photography. He just had a kid, so he's focusing on that. And photography can be quite expensive and also less cumbersome to move. When you move with records, it can be a real nightmare. In the group, he made a comment saying, I'm just looking to get rid of these all at once. If someone could pick them up, they're yours. And the price was extremely reasonable, and knowing his music taste from back in the day, I knew there would be some really interesting things in here that I don't have in my collection, things I was looking to get more into, etc., etc. So I met up with him, and I drove about an hour to meet him. I got the collection, brought it back, started going through it, and oh my god, there are so many cool things in here. So outside of what I'm going to show you, there's a lot that I'm not. And there are some things that weren't that interesting to me. Of course, there were a couple 12-inch singles, some kind of big band stuff, a couple classical box sets, some stuff that, for me, doesn't really scratch that itch, and it also doesn't really have any value to it, but that is more than fine, because the stuff in there that is awesome is well worth it, and you'll see in a minute. But beyond that, there were definitely some cool things to add, some kind of, VG plus quality, some Jimi Hendrix, some Southern rock, random things of that nature. There's a couple indie things I didn't show because I own them already, like there was Fleet Foxes, there's Vampire Weekend, a couple records by Swans, who I'm not a huge fan of, but I know they have a huge fan base. The ones I'm going to show you in here are either rare or interesting or right up my alley, and I also want to make reference to the fact that the majority of the stuff that I'm not showing that is awesome is a lot of doom metal and some stoner metal, some neo-folk type stuff, some black metal. These are genres that I'm on the tertiary of, and I like some of it, but I'm not really full out invested in. Some of them are pretty pricey, actually. They go for decent money from looking it up, but I'm going to dig into them. It's an exciting crash course to be able to learn about these things, without having to just buy them individually, and I can, keep what I like and trade what I don't. But let's go and show you what I found. So the first two records I'm going to show you are by a band called Have a Nice Life. This is The Unnatural World, their second record. And I remember when this came out for sale, I was mad because I didn't get the limited variant of it, which was the Milky Clear with Oxblood, and this is, of course, the Milky Clear with Oxblood. Have a Nice Life is a great band. I've talked about their other album, Death Consciousness, before. It's kind of post-punk-y, but definitely some kind of industrial elements, some shoegaze, a little ambient. It's dark, it's heavy, but also very minimal. It's a great project, and both the albums are pretty stellar. So there's this one, which was cool, but then also in here was the original Death Consciousness with the original cover. So all the represses have an alternate cover. This one's the OG cover, and it comes with the thick booklet. There's a huge, massive book. It's just on black vinyl. This is not the first press. This is the second press. After the second press, all the subsequent ones have the different cover. But yeah, I'm really excited. I love this record, and I did not have the original cover version. Moving along, another record I always wanted to pick up but never did. This is Earth. The Bees Made Honey in the Lion's Skull. So Earth is one of the more celebrated drone bands, and I don't love all the stuff they do. This album in particular is probably in my top 5 drone records of all time, and I'm not always in the mood to listen to drone, but just look at this booklet. First of all, I love the art inside, but it's like this massive, thick book with some nice sleeves on the inside housing all of the records. This is a drone masterpiece, and I'm so happy that this was included in the collection. I had a feeling it would be because I remember he's the guy that actually turned me on to Earth back in the day. Moving on, we have some Dead Kennedys, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. I'm actually falling a bit into a punk phase right now. I think the remastered Tony Hawk has a lot to do with that. I've been vibing on a lot of punk stuff lately, and Dead Kennedys are, of course, punk royalty. I don't have any of their records. The only song I think I know off of this is Holiday in Cambodia, but I'm excited to hear this because, I mean, Dead Kennedys, come on. Flipping back to the same label, the Fluancer, as Have a Nice Life. This is Giles Corey. Giles Corey is a project I've talked about on this channel years ago, actually. I had the box set of it, and I realized the box set was taking up a lot of space. I liked the album, but I didn't justify it. Yeah, you like that, Mal? Recently, they did a repress that was a little more manageable for the shelf size, and this is an amazing variant of it. It's on this green and purple splatter. It's a really good kind of dark, creepy record. I called it a Halloween record back in the day, but this is awesome to have. I love this variant too. So cool. Here's one that'll excite some people. I am not as jazzed personally, but this is a pretty rare record. Sleep, Dope Smoker. So this is kind of like a stoner rock, drone, doom album, and it's the one with the holographic cover, which I know is one of the more limited versions. It's on green vinyl because it's obviously a weed related album, and yeah, this is a pretty hard record to come by, and I was pretty excited to see this inside the hall. I was really excited to see this early pressing of Sticky Fingers, very clean, one of my favorite Stones records, and it has a working zipper still intact, which is great. This is cool too. This is a Led Zeppelin Greatest Hits comp called Mothership. It's 4 discs in this really massive box. The box does have a little bit of wear, but I think it's fine. The back is a little more worn than the front, but I like this embossing on the cover. Really nice. I mean, I have a lot of Zeppelin records, but this Greatest Hits comp is also very cool. Moving on to more indie and rap type stuff. Of course I have this record, but I was really excited to see Kanye represented in such an eclectic collection. Late Registration is iconic. You can never have too many copies. This one was kind of cool too. I know Vinyl Me Please just did a reissue of this, but this is a first pressing of The Idler Wheel by Fiona Apple. She really doesn't miss. All of her records are pretty excellent, but this is cool to have a first pressing with my VMP one. I wonder if they were the same plates. Maybe I'll have to listen to them both and do a shootout and see which is better. Just like the last haul I bought, there was a little bit of emo in here. We got some Thursday Full Collapse. It's actually a very cool variant of it. It's this clear with smoke inside. I always like smoky variants. I think they're awesome, but this is a classic emo record, and I actually don't have this, and this wasn't one of the Thursday records that was in my last haul, so cool. One of the best albums of this year, without a doubt, is Phoebe Bridgers' Punisher, and this is the really nice Merlot Wave variant. I have it, but again, this is one of those records that is just absolutely perfect, and I'm glad to have more than one. And then we have a recent repress of Joji's Ballads. Joji is hard to kind of put into a box. His music is a little bit of trip-hop, a little lo-fi, a little soul, a little R&B. It kind of goes all over the place, but it's very, very good. And this is the Turntable Lab exclusive red vinyl that just came out and sold out very quickly. Still sealed, which is great and unexpected within the context of this haul. All right, we got a little Chemical Brothers, Dig Your Own Hole. This is just a great electronic record. Chemical Brothers have so many good tracks, and this is probably their best record, I think, at least top 2. And I actually don't own this record. I think I did once upon a time. Maybe it was a bad copy and I traded it away. But I'm really excited to have this back because this is essential, I think, for most people's collection if you're into electronic. This was a huge surprise too. This is If These Trees Could Talk, Red Forest. So If These Trees Could Talk is one of the best post-rock bands. I would put them up there with Explosion in the Sky, Caspian, Godspeed. They are so talented, and every version of Red Forest is sold out and very difficult to find. This variant in particular is really pretty. It's just kind of like white with bronze marbling. I was very excited to see this because you really can't find this record for like under $80 these days, I feel. I already have this record and actually have the Parlophone version of it, but I was excited to see Radiohead Kid A, one of my top albums of all time. This is the Capitol 10-inch pressing. It's Kid A. I mean, I gotta smile every time I see a record I love. We got some double Pixies. I like the Pixies. I don't own any Pixies records. So we have Doolittle and Surfer Rosa, which I guess are the 2 quintessential Pixies records for casual fans like myself. Very happy to add these to the collection. They both are really great albums, and I don't know why it took me so long to actually pick them up, but problem solved. This one I was shocked to see is quite rare. Tori Amos' American Doll Posse. So I guess this only had one pressing back in 2007, I think it is. It's very out of print, and I actually don't know too much of Tori Amos's discography, but I'm excited to listen to this because I've heard a lot of good things. Really like the cover. It's kind of a cool, like, photo shoot vibe. This next one, also very excited. I owned it once upon a time. I've traded it away, and now it's back. That's the cool thing about records. You get some, you lose some, they come back. It's always this transient thing, and I love that. This is Hum, You'd Prefer an Astronaut. Hum is a very good kind of shoegazy rock band. This is my favorite of their albums, and it's probably the most accessible of their albums too, I believe. The song Stars was what got me into them. I think that was the single. It is an amazing track if you haven't heard it. This is the white variant, and all of these are out of print, so really excited to see this. When I saw that zebra, that iconic zebra on the cover, I was like, another one that I own a version of, actually now 2 versions of. So this is my 3rd copy of Buena Vista Social Club, another essential album for any vinyl fan. Vinyl Me Please just did their own variant of this, but most versions of this one included, are stellar. The pressing for vinyl is unbelievable and worthy of testing your system on. This is such a good thick jacket too. It's a really sturdy package, but this album is a mark of good taste without a doubt. It's kind of like Cuban vibey, a little jazzy. It's very good. This is cool, although the cover is extremely beat. This is the White Stripes Elephants. This is a earlier pressing, and this is, I think a Stoughton tip-on gatefold because it is such a thick, sturdy. It's not like a flimsy material by any means. It has a lot of heft to it. And this is actually the limited version. So as you can see, the cover has had to see some better days, unfortunately. I pulled it out first and I was like, oh, black vinyl. But then I was like, wait a minute, let me check. Oh, red! Half black and red, and the other half is actually on white. So a cool 2 discs, different colors, all matching the cover nicely. I love Third Man Records when they do that. They really know how to do their variants. I'm sad about the state of the cover itself, but I already own a different colored variant of this record. I think it's the red and white separate discs. So this is one of my top albums as well. Glad to add this to the bunch. And then a couple more classic things worthy of adding to anyone's collection. This is an early pressing of Depeche Mode's Violator, one of their darkest and most twisted records. Also one of their best records. It has Personal Jesus on it, which is probably one of their biggest songs. I love Depeche Mode, and I, for some reason, don't have that record. I am not a huge jazz fan, but I know that I Love Supreme by John Coltrane is considered to be one of the greats. So I was really excited to see this in there and put that on the table, hear it through the Clearaudio, and kind of see how that sounds. I love Britpop as well, and this is the Stone Roses self-titled. This is a record I've always wanted to pick up. Never found it at a store for a price I was willing to pay in the condition that I wanted. And this is great because the Stone Roses are just iconic, up there with, Blur and Oasis, like some of those Britpop bands that are just like classic. This is one of the ones that collectors look for. And again, another artist that I know, but I don't know well enough for how much I love music, is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. This is his album, My Trial. I don't own a single thing Nick Cave has done. Well, that's not true anymore because now I do. I own this. But very excited to hear this. I love his voice, and I'm excited to kind of dive into his catalog starting here. And then a couple New Order records. Both Lowlife and Technique were in this haul. Clean copies, early pressings, awesome. Another band that I'm ending this little haul with is Bauhaus. So Bauhaus is a gothic rock band. I've enjoyed what I've heard, but again, I have not taken the time to sit and listen to full records. So right here we have a few different records of theirs. We got this guy. I actually don't know what the name of this one is. And I guess this is a 1981 to 83 singles compilation. And Press the Eject and Give Me the Tape. So now I went from 0 to 3 Bauhaus albums just like that. So that is just the highlights of this collection I wanted to show you. Like I said, there's a lot of really interesting black metal, doom metal, stuff I can't even pronounce the name of. I'm excited to listen to them because Kevin has great taste, and I feel like with enough time I can really get into any genre of music. I like metal, so I feel like it's just a couple steps away from really appreciating the next level, which is something like this. All the records are in great condition. I would say everything is VG Plus at least. Maybe a couple sleeves that could be considered VG, but ultimately the bang for your buck with this collection is insane. And like I said, there's still a couple hundred records over there that I didn't show that are a little more generic, some stuff that maybe I wouldn't want to necessarily waste time in the video talking about. But some good stuff. This alone was worth the price of admission, but there's definitely a lot more where that came from, and a lot of the value from the collection comes from some of that black metal stuff. So this was a really, really good buy, in my opinion. I thank Kevin for giving me the opportunity to buy this, and it's gonna go to a good place. So thank you. And I hope you guys enjoyed going through a little bit of this collection. Tell me what you liked in the comments. Leave one below with your thoughts on whatever the best record I showed you was, or your favorite metal record that might be in the bin, and I'll let you know if it's in the collection. Lots of stuff from the Fluencer and Southern Lord, Death Wish, all of those kind of metal labels. So yeah, that is the haul from the collection, or at least a part of it. I hope you guys enjoyed. There are more videos coming very soon, so thank you for watching, and take it easy.